welcome all, I'm the code.Pylet. In this episode we're going to be looking at basic platforms, the means in which to limit or assist a player's movement around a virtual world. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at two types of platform. One is where we define the y coordinate of the platform, and the other is where we sample pixel data to look for a specific color. So let's crack on with the first one, which is going to be defining, this is the easiest version, it's going to be defining the y coordinate of the platform. So platform y equals, and we'll put it right at the bottom, height minus 50. And also to interact with the platform we need a player, so player x equals in the middle, player y equals 0. So we've got basically here we've got a template. You can download this off my Google Drive that's available for you, or you can just copy it as you see it here. You'll notice here that I've got this line, these couple of lines here of code. In order to get my script to work, I'm going to have to hold down space. That's because the output window that you see over here doesn't update straight away when I run my code. So I'm going to have to wait for it to load into the video and then press the space to show you what's happening. Okay, so let's carry on with this. So we've got that, and now let's go down to the code. If we come over to this, I'll show you exactly what we're going to be testing for in this particular version of platform. So we have our platform y here, and there it is, and we've got the player up here, and that's where the player is right now at player y. What we need to do is we need to add the falling velocity to the player. So if we set the falling velocity to, say, 3, like that, what we're doing is we're checking whether the player is less than platform y and player y plus falling velocity is greater than platform y. So that if it is, if those two conditions are true, then we've hit the platform somewhere. But it doesn't matter where we've hit it, because then we just assign platform y to player y, and then we put the circle on the line. So let's go back into the code. So let's test that. If player y is less than equal to platform y and player y plus falling velocity is greater equal to platform y, then player y equals platform y. Now if we haven't detected this platform, then obviously we need to keep going, don't we? We need to add the falling velocity until we hit something. So else player y plus equals falling velocity. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Really simple, isn't it? And now we'll just add a circle so we can see player falling. Draw circle, display surface, white. Radius and fill. Solid fill. We'll put the platform in as well, so you can see where that is. I'll get it right in a second. And give it a width of 1. Okay, so that should work now. We'll save it. We'll run it. Oh, we've got an error. Get press. It's get pressed. silly. There we go. Try it again. Whee! So it's loaded. Here we go. Hold down space now. There we go. And it hit that and it stopped. Brilliant. Dead simple, isn't it? Now then, the next one, just close that. The next one we're going to be looking at is using the color collision. This is where we use, we define a display surface and we write a line to it, draw a line to it or whatever you want to say, and then we sample between the player Y and the player Y plus falling velocity. So each pixel between those two values we sample, and if it is white then it's a hit, and if it's black then obviously we keep falling. So we need a for loop to iterate through that range. The range is player Y and player Y plus falling velocity. Let's go to the code and have a look. First of all, we don't actually need this anymore, but we're going to keep it because we're using that value to draw, aren't we? So we need a surface. So we'll call it collision map. And we'll have it the same height and width as our primary display surface, although it can be any size you like. So collision map. Now we need to define what is the hit color and what is the miss color. So hit equals white, miss equals black. And we'll draw our line now. So Pygame, draw line. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to steal this one from here. Like that. That makes it loads easier. And then replace the primary display surface with the collision map. So that should be drawn to the collision map and everything's good. Right. Still need the falling velocity and the player coordinates. We don't need this anymore because we're checking, there's no definition of Y. So we need a Boolean variable that says whether we've actually hit anything or not. So we'll call that collision and we'll find it as false to begin with. Now this is where the for loop comes in. So for collision Y in range flipping heck range player Y and player Y plus falling velocity. Yep. And then we'll get our color sample. Color equals collision map get at player X and collision Y. So we're looking at each pixel all the way through the range. Now in this example we're going to get to there and we're going to sample this white line, aren't we? So if color equals hit, then collision equals true, player Y equals collision Y, and break, because we don't need to keep checking, do we? Once we've detected that line, we don't need to carry on going that way, do we? So we can just break out of that loop. And then if we haven't detected anything, but then we need to carry on falling. So if not collision, that's why we need that Boolean variable. If not collision, player Y plus equals falling velocity. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And this just draws all the stuff to the primary display surface. So let's give that a save and run. Da-dun, da-da. Basic. Wait for it to load up on the output window. There we go. Whee! Brilliant. And that works just as well. Now, there are two different ways. of doing the platform. The first one is if you're doing just a basic platform game, and you just need straight horizontal line platforms. Dead simple, really quick as well. This one that we've just done now is great if you want to detect uneven surfaces. If we look over here, in this example, we've got it looking kind of straight, haven't we? But in theory, we could have it going like this. Because as soon as we sample that pixel there, it'll stop. It'll just stop, and that position there will become the new player Y. So you've got those two things to play around with there. Hope you've enjoyed the video. This is the end of it. If you do like it, leave a comment. I'm not bothered about pressing the thumbs. I'm not bothered about that. I like to interact with people. I like to know how they feel about what I've done. Plus, also, you may have some improvements you want to make to my code, or you've got some questions about it. Just leave a comment. Anyway, next time I will be using these platform strategies to have a little jump around the display surface. So we'll add a little bit of key movement and multiple platforms. All right. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.